All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Let's try to smooth those rough roads out. So tonight I was able to do the hand washing right. That worked out well. Now, something happened. You all put me out, and that's what happened. Because tonight I'm in a little better, and the police were over here on some call. It started as a welfare check, and I didn't quite eavesdrop and didn't want to eavesdrop enough to hear exactly what happened. But the ambulance showed up. Actually, there it goes. It's leaving, I think. Hummer around here. But the ambulance showed up, actually, and they didn't know where to go. And they were like walking, not the opposite direction, walking past the breezeway. I said, up in that breezeway right there. That's what I used to do all the time. Whenever there was a call, I'd show up and I'd show them where to go if they didn't know where to go. In some of the places I lived, I had the key to let them inside until they got some like universal access. That's pretty much all that happened. Again, they put me out of medical care, put me out of massage therapy, put me out of everything. They have a right to do any of it, actually. I mean, they're devils when they do that. Right. So again, that's pretty much what happened. If that didn't happen, I'd have been okay. Right. What's getting weird around here? Right. It's really getting weird around here. But I helped the popo. I was in my storage unit trying to find my suit jacket, my blazer, so I'd have to go buy one. Well, the LDS people, they are about going to church. They talked me into going to church at some point. I told them if I'm well, I said, like, tonight I'm okay. But in the daytime, I was definitely ill. I was so sick. I was so pained. I mean, I don't think falling asleep for 15, 20 minutes did it. What I did is I went back on I thought maybe Claritin would work better than my Allegra. So I went on Claritin, and it just I don't think it was working. What happened is I went to an allergist, and she, I didn't know this was a new thing. She said, take it 2 times a day. Take a double dose. I've never heard that before. Now, I Googled it, and somebody said that their doctor told them to take 3 doses. So I took 1 dose of Allegra, and then I went to sleep. And now I feel much better. Now, it's not windy. This time of the night, the allergens settle down. Well, hopefully that the Allegra will take the edge off of this, and I'll feel a little bit better. They ain't going to give me my hearing back, but it is what it is. Again, there was no reason for any of that to have happened in my lifetime. None whatsoever. Well, my wash machine screaming over there. I don't know if you can hear it. It's doing that spin dry. Yeah, I took an Allegra. Maybe it's Allegra and the Claritin, but maybe the Claritin wasn't working as well as I thought it was. Because the allergens just went up real high. I'm going to eat some crackers here. See, I didn't even know they had the information where eventually everybody would go to heaven and go back to God. So God puts stuff in the scriptures, and then you're supposed to ask God about it. Right? I feel guilty if I get exalted. Is it on now? Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'll know what you heard. I'm what you didn't hear. I was pretty much sick all day. I took a Allegra and had about a 20-minute nap, and now I feel okay. Hopefully, hopefully it was just the allergen. Then, of course, the allergens are way down now compared to earlier. It was windy. Right. It was just a nasty day with that wind. Well, nothing I can say, man. Y'all took out my hearing with your BS. Otherwise, I've been in a different place in here. They lured me here on purpose. Right. Right. With that case, it was a BS case. Right. But really, all I had to do was call the missionaries, and it had been over with. I've been back in church. Right. I didn't, I couldn't get anywhere. I didn't even see it. Right. I saw nothing, no page. I don't believe I ever saw a page saying just call the missionaries. I read the requirements. It's like military. Well, whoever designed this knew something about military training and military discipline. So I read the rules for the missionaries, and she said the one I said to her, I respect all of you. I said, apparently the local church is on a camping trip tonight. So the one woman won there. Actually, two of the women weren't there. There was somebody new. One woman, she's almost done. And I'm trying to respect her because she wants to be baptized before she leaves. She didn't say it, but that's pretty much it. Her mission is over like in a month or so. Like five or a little over a month. Like 5 days before she leaves, she wants to schedule me for baptism. Right. But see now, I'd ended up in Utah because a lot of them are from Utah. Right. Well, right. Okay. I'm trying to get to Utah. There's my answer. The missionaries. A bunch of them are from Utah. I have to heal them. I'm a stranger, but not a stranger. I have to heal them all the time when I drive past them. I'm thinking there's a bunch of people who need healing. They're hated. So it's Shabbat Shalom and Shabbat, and I lit the candles. I'm trying to get back to a normal feeling, so the only thing wrong is my hearing, Right. Today it was a tough one. The devils were here. Tormenting. Well, I don't know how I was healed, but I'm healed. I healed by the stripes, I guess. There, God gives me a lot of honor, because God will be like, you are being tortured and tormented on this planet. If you would give up and be a full fledged devil like them, it never would have happened. It never would happen. There goes the fire, I guess, EMS unit. I healed all of them, healed their vehicles. I was over there in my storage unit, and the call was over that way. Healed the popo. So it's interesting hearing aids because, okay, if you have to buy your own wax guards and domes, which are like the things that, the fittings that go in the ear, then that can get expensive. Right? So if you buy an expensive or a more expensive hearing aid, they actually supply all that for the life of the hearing aid. I still don't know what I want to do. I got one that broke. I can't even get the wax guard out of it. I think that one's going back. The one I got on now, if you put it on the Bluetooth and you move through your browser and stuff, it'll turn off and turn on based upon whatever signal it's getting. It's only supposed to do it for audio, but I guess what it's doing is the browser has like a microphone circuit or a speaker circuit or whatever it is. Right. And it keeps turning off like the Bluetooth is on or something, like if a call came in. That's probably easy to fix. I think I told them about it already. No, I couldn't get that wax guard out to save my life. I tried using the tip of my finger and scraping it up to get a little piece and pull, but I couldn't. Yeah. They sent me longer wires for that, but they're still short. That's a problem with like Asian stuff sometimes. Extra large is like medium. Yeah. So I don't think it's long enough. It turned out that it was longer than the one I had, but it's so minutely longer. And the standard ones that came with this other set worked pretty good. Vivtone or something like that. It's a whole new world. I mean, I wish, this didn't happen so bad. I wish I could have just somehow figured it out. I think what it was, I just needed a massage, whether it was an infection or not. The cranial tissues were just too tight. Could have crushed the ear. It's really scary what happened. I mean, I had something like that happen years ago, and I was able to, I had a whole bunch of stuff that I used to do for therapy to make sure it never happened again, including exercising my TMJ down. But again, they get in the middle, they will this, they will that. Next, you can't even think. I mean, they're torturing me all day long with this crazy stuff, bringing women around me and then not allowing the appropriate women around me, not allowing me to go to church without messing it all up, bringing little kids around me in church. That's disgusting. Like, I should have had a woman walking up to me and pretty much asking me to date. Right. What I got is they bring these kids around me acting like that's what I want. Disgusting. Piggish. Sorry. What was wrong, Larry? I mean, you're talking about decades of that. That's disgusting. While they're willing it up, they're willing up sex grab. They're sick. Obviously was put out. Right. I mean, there's no going back now. You people are stupid. 100%. In my own years, I was able to like restructure my life and make it well enough. The Lord's not going to say that it's well enough now. It cost me thousands of dollars for these hearing things. Right? Money I don't have. I got a 0% credit card, but if I put it on that, it's going to ruin my credit. If I get a loan, I'm going to end up paying, fees and interest. Maybe the only way I can do it to actually just, because I hate to get stuck with credit where I can't get a loan later. Right? But for an emergency, I should have just left. I told my brother, this place is killing me. This place is killing me. I got to get out of here. He's like, well, you got your lease. So I asked him what I got to do to get out of my lease, and they tell me. And of course, you don't want to let me do it. I mean, it's still, I couldn't think of how to do it. Right? Now, of course, my brother could have just gave me the money. He handles his money, my mother's money. He could just, take it off of the others. When my mother passes, he could just take it out for my little amount. Right? I would have been healthier for it. I was just trying to figure out how to get out of here. Really, like January, I was trying to figure out how to get out of here. I said, this place killed me. I just kept getting sicker and sicker. Right. You have all the intuition in the world. If you ain't got money in this world, then you ain't got nothing. Right. And that condemns the world. Come on. Last early fall, I was doing fine. What happens is I thought it was from a sinus infection. It was actually my cranial tissues crimping. Right. And that's why the sinus couldn't drain. So I needed actually like cranial tissue massage. I probably needed a shot in my TMJ or somewhere around there of steroid. And then that all, worked out. I'm barely able to get it stretched. I stretched it a bit. I mean, it's coming around. But again, a day late and a dollar short. If they stayed away from me, I'd have been in massage. They're sitting online willing me down all day. That's the only reason I say anything. The only reason I say anything is because they are doing it. If they weren't doing it, I wouldn't say anything. No reason to. No, I needed massage, and I was getting massage, and then for some reason, when I got to Aurora, they tried killing me, with their psyop, and I just couldn't get back to it. Right. I got to it in the end, but again, those people weren't the type of massage therapist I needed. They're too gingerly. Well, 4 years ago, if I could have stayed in massage and got to the right massage therapist. When I got to massage therapist in Tyler, they started working me over and I had to leave, making me sick. I don't know what they were doing. Right. I ordered something to rinse my sinuses, and they show that they were in my apartment, in my room. Just to fear me of using it. They're sick, man. It's the sickest human beings on the planet. Well, they're sick devils. We can call them human beings. They ain't trying to do anything law enforcement. Trying to get rich quick off of killing people. Very piggish. Really, I'm not going to church for myself because I know I don't need to. I would love to have had a normal life like that because I used to go to church all the time. But doing it for the missionaries. I mean, they spend a lot of time at least speaking to me online, Zoom study and whatnot. Let me see, am I being heard? Yeah, okay, it's still working. I mean, it's horrible. I have no idea who told them to do this to me. I mean, I'm sure there were some of them clowns I used to work with. Well, I used to make phone calls when I go on assignment in the government just so I would be harassed when I was on assignment. They're sickos. Correct. I mean, it's years of what they do to prep it. And then you just kind of accept it. Jim Spasha used to say they're not courageous. Yeah, they're devils. Being courageous is old hat, right? They won't stand up to some sort of corruption. I mean, any given time when they were doing this to me, I could have had a heart attack or a stroke with what they were doing to me. I'm not supposed to be in this type of life. And, it was represented before I came to the planet that a person such as myself wouldn't have a life like that. So y'all lied to God to get me on the planet. So I didn't know that Latter-day Saints, I shouldn't call them Mormon, they're a little offended these days. They used to call themselves Mormon. Right? They have the thing where everybody will eventually make it home, right? But right, you gotta go through hell first because they put people through hell on earth and they think it's funny. Right. Well, I told you I can't curse you. I made parameters. But if you do what you did to me, it's going to come out like that. Right. All them years, somebody should have come along and stopped me and restore my life. God always told me something's going to come along, but it's going to be too late. That's what God told me. Eventually, something will come along. I'm sorry. No, I personally know God. No, I'm not God, of course. Is God a human? Well, the Mormons have some, or the LDS have it, but not all of it. It's not a body like that. It could be, but again, okay. What kills a body here is the evil. But if evil doesn't exist, then the body doesn't degrade, no matter what it's made out. Well, I know God comes and goes as whatever God desires to be for the moment. No, I'm not God, that's for sure. Right. Thank you, Larry. So I don't doubt God could come as a human appearing being. It doesn't mean that it's what you're seeing. The scriptures, like Jews will say stuff, but if you read in the Torah, God does manifest as something. It just doesn't. It's just not a physical thing. Was God on earth as a physical thing? I don't believe that. Could God have went through a life where God goes, I earned being God? Yeah, God could do that. God's whack like that. Well, God's like a producer, like a Hollywood director. So again, there's a lot that God, doesn't say in the scriptures, but God enjoys, living vicariously through the lives of the creation. Well, people on earth have, they just, they don't think I'm anybody, but I am who I said I was, because God told me that's who I was. So I'm like his number one angel, but it's whatever, right? No, we're friends. I don't know, God. It's God's idea, man. I don't think things up like that. I just do whatever God tells me. Right. Well, you probably shouldn't have done that to me. You made me sick. Made me sick the whole time. Something's wrong with all of you. And this is what they do to go around making people sick, then pointing the finger at the people they make sick. Well, at least I don't have to buy a blue blazer. I have one. I just got to figure out how to get it looking like a blue blazer again. It's a little wrinkle. Not much. Just sat in the bin for a long time. I do have to get a white shirt. Probably just wear I have a set of Union Bay cargo khakis. Right. I don't know how many pair I know. I have the blue pair of the kind of light khaki ones. I have to look on Amazon and see what I bought. Like, I was starting to feel good again. This is the weird part. I was feeling great, and then all of a sudden I got sick. I bought those khakis because, I was feeling good. Now, the question is, did they figure out I was starting to feel good and attack me with something? Right. Thank you, Larry. No, I mean, last fall I felt great. And then I just started getting sicker and sicker. Maybe I was just getting tighter and tighter. I don't know. I mean, and if they were stressing me out, that's possible. But what? I was doing okay about a year ago. Right. It's giving too much way in my life. There's just no reason for them to have way in people's lives like that. I mean, the world's upside down. Trump's a lunatic with this tariff shit. I mean, maybe something will work out, but they're saying that it doesn't look like it's going to work out. Some of the best financial minds are saying it's a little bit loopy. Right. 100% right. Like, even if he gets to the point where he, muscling everybody for negotiation. And I told you, the Chinese don't give a shit. Our economy's worse than theirs. They don't care, man. Right. We have other people that'll sell this stuff to you. We're the ones, trying to reel in from inflation. I was getting close to finishing the base of the ark and everything. It don't look bad the way it is, but who did I pay the shofar? Oh, I paid the shofar for that one missionary. I blew the shofar for the missionary. She thought it was cool. I was just on she was just on telephone or something. No, it's like a lot of their stuff I had already. Right. But God was trying to get rid of hell, actually. Like where nobody goes to hell. And y'all kept killing me while I was trying to do it, trying to give me hell. I got no idea. They're just crazy. I worked with crazy people my whole career. I'll tell you that. I mean, when I was in the military, there were some, but not like in the government. Boy, they're crazy in the government. They're just useless pieces of garbage. And then they make themselves big by killing other people out. Right. We're trying to make them afraid to do any work. Right. But they're trying to rule their chief or their boss or the corruption. Yeah, I just figured out I didn't have to buy that monitor. I had another monitor that I forgot works with USB-C. It doesn't work with HDMI. Right. So I actually didn't have to buy that one monitor I bought. Well, I wish you'd have stayed away from me so I could have, got my massages when I needed. Again, there was no reason for you all to enter into my massage in the beginning, to begin with. Because then my life would have been fully healthy. There's no reason for them to do any of it. Somebody's paying them to do it. That's all it is. Thank you, Larry. So, and then I had flesh-eating bacteria attack me. I was real. Who knows what these people are up to? Somebody needs to find out quick and shut them down. Shut them down quick. Shut them down. Shut their whole life down until they stop. That's how you do it. Right? You can play at that game, right? Now, what I did is I started stretching my cranial tissues and my sinuses started draining. Right. So they got me by pushing me out of that massage. Now, I'd have found my way to a church or something by now if I hadn't got sick like that after I got my body released. Right. If I had been in massage the whole time, that never would have happened. I mean, they're sick people, man. Some of the sickest people on the planet. They're walking around like they protected everyone. They're the big protectors. Hey, this is advanced stuff. It's so advanced that you can't figure it out, right? Because it looks like we're the criminals, right? But not really. I work with the biggest pieces of shit on earth, based upon who they actually are. Right. I guess I missed something growing up. I was supposed to be evil like them, right? But that's the point that God would bring up all the time. Like these people around you, nobody knows who they really are, but they're the biggest devils on the planet because you're here. And they're here to kill you. Like the real world of what's actually going on. All right. No, there's no reason for these people to ever have been around me. Right? No reason whatsoever. Agreed. Somebody paid them. %73% of Americans now financially stressed. Mortgage rates surge over 7%. Now we have another plane crash. Guy had to swerve into a tree as the plane crashed. Another investigation. So it's a Cessna 310R. Let's see what that is. That's not a bad looking plane. All right. Probably pretty fast. What was that? Oh, that's a nice plane. Rick? All right, so let's see what happened there. I wonder if they were slightly hypoxic. All right. Correct there. They're showing the flight path. I'm 25 miles from where I want to go. I gotta wonder. Right. They were looking for something. Crashed into a motor vehicle. How the helicopter I crashed into the Hudson River made a chilling warning call. The helicopter ran out of fuel just minutes into their journey. What? Right. He needed fuel, and it should have taken him about 3 minutes to arrive. Should have just took it straight down. Right. Huh. What does it mean it's out of gas? I guess somebody forgot to fuel it up for the trip. Six people. All right, I'll run out.